99% of guys try to build an aesthetic physique like this. They spend hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, trying to squeeze out as much gains as possible, only to burn out and quit, and then realize the bucket was never full. But it doesn't have to be like this. How long do I want to spend working out and how often? Answering these two simple questions will not only guide you to achieving your dream body, but also living a more healthy, happy, and fulfilling life. So in this video, I'll reveal 9 simple yet effective and efficient strategies to build you more muscle without spending hours in the gym, splitting them into 3 categories: how to get results, keep them, and thrive. And most guys make the mistake of putting all their effort into category number 1. But to understand the rest of the video, you need to first understand the difference between these 2 bodybuilding approaches. First, most fitness YouTubers will tell you to train somewhere between 4 to 6 days a week, 60 to 90 minutes a day. But that's not the problem. Most guys simply don't have the time and energy to balance full-time work, a relationship, kids, and hobbies whilst working out like a full-time bodybuilder. And it's not to say you can't, because you can. But in doing so, you risk falling into the cycle of burnout, quit, becoming worse off, and repeat. Instead, what if we worked out on a when you can basis? Like if you can't work out today, then tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then the next day. This will allow you to be consistent with achieving an aesthetic body while living a balanced lifestyle. So strategy number 1 is to simply adopt a part-time bodybuilding method. But knowing the right approach is simply not enough, because if you want to not only minimize time, but also maximize results, this next one is a must. You may be familiar with being super excited to finish your workout and look in the mirror only to be disappointed. Because despite having spent all those hours in the gym, your shoulders look sad and your chest looks flat. This was me not too long ago, but this is an important lesson I needed to share with you. For example, for making your shoulders pop. Lateral raises are much more effective than barbell shoulder press, and that for building a fuller chest. Incline bench is far more superior than flat and decline bench combined. So strategy number 2, exercise selection matters. Because if you want to build muscle faster in the right areas without faffing about, you want to make sure you're doubling down on the most effective exercises for each muscle. So to save you from making the same mistake, I put together a short list of some of the most effective science-based exercises for the 9 main muscles. But with just 2 strategies down for getting results and 2 more to go, it's certainly not enough to keep your results, let alone thrive. But without this next one, you'll go harder and longer in the gym and then wonder why your muscles aren't growing. You see, most guys try to build an aesthetic body like learning to drive in an empty parking lot. But without adding traffic to the equation, how can you expect to grow? In other words, most guys fall into the trap of doing what's comfortable. And when they see no progress, they resort to spending more time in the gym. In fact, here's 3 simple ways to corner your muscles and give them no choice but to grow, and without adding more time to your workouts. Strategy number 3 is what I call the shock trifecta, and in no particular order. Number 1, a highly underused yet key muscle building principle is to gradually increase the weight until you reach your rep target of say 10 reps, before increasing the weight again. This is also known as progressive overload. Number 2, your muscles won't grow because they're not being pushed past their usual point of fatigue. To do this, push until failure on any exercise, then immediately decrease the weight by 20 to 30% and continue for more reps until failure again. This is also known as drop sets. Number 3, your muscles know exactly what to expect. So as a way to force them to adapt and grow and to keep them guessing, say you're used to doing 10 reps, try doing 4 to 6 and continue to alternate between different rep targets like 6 to 8 and 8 to 10. But there's one thing all successful bodybuilders do that most guys just seem to miss, resulting in wasted time and effort and highly ineffective workouts. When first starting out, it's no surprise that we copy our favorite FitTubers program, diet, and even their wake up time. Like when doing barbell curls, oftentimes I see guys make the mistake of lifting like gravity doesn't exist. Or when doing dumbbell curls, they're lifting as if Hurricane Katrina is about to hit. And it's no surprise that they see little to no growth. But here's a simple strategy to double or even triple your results in a matter of weeks, while keeping the workouts short and sweet. And it's one strategy every part-time bodybuilder must know and do. Slowing down or controlling the lowering phase of each rep helps your muscles work harder, therefore promoting more effective muscle growth. So during the lowering phase of an exercise, aim for a tempo of at least 2 seconds, like when lowering the barbell to your chest in the bench press or lowering yourself in a chin-up. But also make sure to choose a challenging weight, otherwise you might as well be watching Netflix while lifting burgers to your mouth. So strategy number 4 is what I call working the negative. Next strategy will save you from having to painfully walk away from achieving your dream body, literally. Which also brings us to category number 2, keeping your results. Perhaps you know the feeling of having to freeze your membership because you simply can't wipe your bottom without feeling a pinch in your shoulder, and that's frustrating. But also, ignoring the pain could mean having to spend years trying to fix the problem versus preventing it in the first place. So to save you from a lifetime of pain, here's strategy number 5 with 4 simple ways to almost bulletproof your body and health. Number 1, and this is hands down the best way to recover, and no pill or supplement could ever replace this, and that's a good night's rest. Aim for a consistent sleep-wake time to feel energized and be ready to perform the next day. Number 2 is like having a massage therapist by your side 24/7, and that's knowing exactly how to stretch out super tight muscles as well as basic foam rolling techniques, because a stretch and a foam roll a day keeps the physio away. Number 3 is like saying you can't outwork a bad diet, but in this case, you can't outstretch an overworked muscle. And this is usually due to working out for longer and harder. Therefore, building a highly effective and efficient program would translate to less chance of injury, simply due to working out less. And number 4, listen to your body because no one else will. But as I say, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you save. And so the problem still stands. We have a leaky bucket. But with only 2 more strategies to go before we know exactly how to keep our results, let alone thrive, this next one has got everything to do with the problem of time. And ignoring this could mean more hours in the gym and little to no results. Kind of like paying $200 for a fake pair of Jordans. You see, we're made to believe that we need to work out more, to do more sets and exercises. And it doesn't help that we might suffer from what's called loss aversion bias. And so despite wanting a more balanced lifestyle, this is where we prefer to avoid losing stuff, and in this case, losing muscle. It's why we struggle to finally let go of the long workouts we're used to. But here's a simple yet effective and efficient way to cut your workouts in half or more. Take this 60-minute workout, a big portion of it will be spent resting between sets. So to massively reduce your workout time, we can first replace 1 or more regular sets with drop sets, therefore reducing our workout time by 2 to 3 minutes per set that we replace. So in this example, replacing just 1 set per exercise will save us 24 minutes, which brings us down to 36 minutes. Next, to further reduce workout time, we can replace 2 or more exercises working the same muscle with just 1 highly effective exercise. But keep in mind, in order for this to work, you do need to take each set to or near failure. This means pushing yourself as hard as you can until you can't do another rep with good form. So strategy number 6 is what I call stacking. But it's not just about the physical struggle when it comes to achieving a lean muscular body, but also a mental one. And this could be the single thing that stands between you and your goals, unless you understand and apply this next strategy. You see, most social media influencers and motivational speakers preach the idea of consistency. It's like saying you need to be perfect, otherwise you'll never build anything great. And so we're constantly sold this unrealistic lifestyle that was never designed for us in the first place. But it's also easier than you think. To give yourself the best chance of building an aesthetic body, we need to first adopt a part-time bodybuilding approach, because only then will it allow us to be as consistent as we can and while living a balanced lifestyle. Second, we must be okay with not being perfect and that we're not always going to work out on the days that we plan. By simply following the strategies in this video, I guarantee you will go further than 99% of guys in the gym. Next and final category is thrive. But with only 2 strategies to go, every strategy I've mentioned up until now will simply be redundant if you're like 99% of guys who put their nutrition and diet on the back burner. Next is a surprisingly simple strategy that's helped me over the last 10 years. Perhaps the diet advice on the internet is super overwhelming, but know that you're not alone, and I'm here to help you fix that. With guys telling you to eat this and drink that, you're probably like, how the heck do I simplify this? But just like learning a new skill, it's easy in theory but difficult in practice. Not only do we live completely different lifestyles, but also diets and meal plans require at or near perfection, therefore making it unsustainable for 99% of guys. But it doesn't have to be like this. Instead, here's a simple 3-step strategy to help you automate your diet so you can focus on raking in those gains. First, in order to look aesthetic, you need to be at a level where you can visibly see your abs. Plus, it's also better for your overall health. The best solution would be one that gives you the freedom to eat more without having to worry about weight gain. To do this, simply eat foods lower in calories and higher in nutrition. Do this by eating mostly foods grown in the ground, aka whole foods. Foods like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, lentils, legumes, and beans. So number 1 is remove restrictions. Next, if you're like me, the idea of tracking everything you eat is just too much work. I'll show you a simple fix. But if you're unlike me, aim for at least 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for muscle gain and overall health. However, for the past 10 years, a simple rule that's worked for me is to aim for about 1/3 of your plate as protein. Otherwise, a more accurate yet stress-free method would be to track your meals for a few days and then model that moving forward. So number 2 is to visualize your protein. Last but not least, to get the nutrition and fuel your body actually needs to not only grow, but to also thrive. You need to at least have a basic plan in place, because a well-planned and nutritious diet can change not only your body, but also your life. And it's as simple and easy as you make it. Try picking one day every week to shop and cook. So number 3 is to streamline and chill. The last and final strategy might be the most important one you'll ever adopt. And luckily for you, it's simple. But there's 2 types of problems when it comes to the fitness industry and social media influencers: a fake problem and a real one. You see, it's all about how to do more and spend more time in the gym, which caters to just 1% of the population. But also, most guys can't sustain a full-time bodybuilding lifestyle, yet for some reason they find it attractive. Perhaps it's the thought of following their idol's workout, or the thought of achieving a similar physique with the exact same program. But the real problem is, most guys get stuck in their old ways, and it's the only thing they'll ever know and believe. And eventually they quit and say, I don't have time. But then there's guys like us who still want to build muscle and look good without spending more time in the gym than we need. And it can sometimes feel lonely and hard. So it makes sense that people naturally seek a community where they feel like they belong. A place where you get access to expert coaches who will guide you to improving your fitness and nutrition in a simple, effective, and highly effective way. Imagine spending as little as 10 minutes a day to guarantee gains, and just 1 to 2 hours a week to ensure that your diet supports your body and life. I mean, that's literally my routine. As well as having other guys who are on the same journey, sharing your struggles, wins, frustrations, and as a result, motivating and inspiring each other to consistently improve 1% every day. This is the number 1 reason why I continue to make these videos, and I can't wait to transform your body and life. If you're interested, click the link below and join the waiting list by answering a few simple questions. So these are 9 effective and efficient strategies to not only get you results, keep it, but also thrive, and ultimately giving you the tools to build an aesthetic body without spending hours in the gym. But there's one missing hack that could shave off even more time and boost your results even further. And it's honestly the one thing that's made a bigger impact on my results in the past 1 year than in the last 10. So check out this video here where I show you what it is, how it works, and how you can become more aesthetic working out just 2 days a week.